This episode of Sean and John was recorded on October 16th, 2015.
Recomendita la sepelvectentistoi anstataŭ manĝi vitron estas Sean and John kun Sean kaj Sean.
Holy shit, we're back.
Oh my God. It's been quite a hiatus.
It's like been a long time since we were on the air last.
Well, you're in that coma for months.
I actually still am.
I love
welcome.
the photos of me like slapping you around and stuff.
That was you, fucker. Hey, welcome to Sean and John, everybody. I am John, and I'm a necessary evil.
Okay, well, I'm Sean, and I'm the pretty one.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that. And this week, and for the next couple weeks, we have
Matt Loop.
Matt Loop is in the studio, and for everybody at home listening and not watching, I'm making quote signs now. Studio, because it's my kitchen.
Nice. That's professional.
Yeah, whatever.
We're doing well.
Yeah,
That's what it means. We're doing well.
Jonathan
I'm
Torrance
excited,
does a podcast in his closet, so I figure kitchen's one up, right?
That's a step up.
Okay, so I think we need to crack a beer.
Yes.
Today, Matt, you had said you like a lager. So we're drinking Granville Island Lager.
Lovely.
A
Cheers,
local
gentlemen.
craft
Delicious.
beer. Cheers. There we go.
Beauty.
So, your last name is Loop.
Loop,
And at the end of this,
L-O-O-P.
it will be Matt Looped.
Hey!
Ooh. I'm all for that.
A little cheesy
It's a
joke to start this off, to welcome us
Matt Luke
back.
is a very,
Get that
very
over.
actor-friendly name. You know,
Right?
Some
Right?
some actors just have names where you're like, that's a great fucking actor.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Like
You know-
River Phoenix.
Bingo.
You know, it's like
River
Matt
Phoenix. Yeah. Loop. Matt Loop.
Matt Loop. You can remember that.
Yeah.
You know, my full name doesn't work, you see. It's Matthew McKinnon Loop, and that only works as a serial killer. And then
Or a
today-
guy who tried to kill a
And,
president.
and going
Also
on that,
that.
you're dressed for the part.
Yes, thank you. I'm quite proud of my
You might want to tell us why you're
my
dressed so
outfit.
lovely tonight.
Tonight I am featuring a lovely white with brown dirt.
It's not white anymore. If it was,
camisole,
it's not
I
now.
believe. Camisole.
It's kind of, you know what? It's like the wife beater that John McClane is wearing in Die Hard when he crawls to the air vent.
see,
It comes
that's-
out the other side.
yeah, that's
a-
way cooler.
So to any of our listeners who don't know who Matt is an actor, but has come from, he owns a landscaping, would I be right in saying landscaping?
Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah,
guys
business.
do the whole, so he owns landscaping business and is here fresh from that.
Well, I'd be worried if he says he works in an office and
Yeah.
showed up like this.
Hey, it was Casual Friday, right? You know, you just show up whatever you like.
The invite said dress appropriately. So I got a question first off. So I'm doing a bit of research on you, which is a nice way of saying I stalked your Facebook page.
I'm all for that as well.
And I've done no research, by the way.
Good. No, hey, two sides of the same coin.
I think I slept.
Sean, this
Well,
is Matt.
yeah.
Matt,
Oh,
this is Sean.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, thank you, sir.
Shake some hands.
So a while ago, maybe like last year or the year before, you weed whacked a pebble into your nose.
Yes, I did actually. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Did you do
how,
this
how does
on
that
purpose,
happen?
or
It was actually-
this kind of trick?
I'll
like,
show
hey,
you
watch
off.
this, guys. Watch
So-
my nostril. Watch my nostril.
Okay, so I've been doing this for like 5 years now, and I've hit myself in the face with a lot of things, mostly dog poop and rocks. Rocks, of course, many rocks, but
Dog poop.
A lot of times.
unfortunately, I think my reflexes are so good now that the moment the consistency of the weed whacker changes, like you know by the feel of it that it's grass, dog poop. So you try and dodge in the last moment, but you know sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in case of the rock, it was something just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The rock obviously caught and ricocheted towards my face. And there's a split second, it's a really, really wonderful moment where you realize that your body is freaking out and your instincts are telling you to flee or do something. And you flinch and then you get hit in the face with something that's going supersonic.
Like you should dodge this, but instead
you have no
just
idea.
wait for impact.
you close your eyes, which is a good thing. So that's
What you want to do in the face of all danger.
But yeah, a little pebble went right into my nostril. I was like, that is like, let's think about the mathematical improbability of that. And it only took like 3.5, 4 years to have it happen. Like, that's pretty great.
So did it go way up in lodge, or was it very comedic and like
breathing in
and was
when
half
that happened?
sticking out?
Yeah, no, it was a bit of both. It went a little into my nose, but it definitely stopped, and I was like, okay, I'm not in any danger. But
You know in low budget TV shows where like somebody throws the credit card at a guy and he catches it in their mouth and you're like, you just had it in his mouth and played that in reverse.
Or like Ace Ventura.
Did it
when
look
he
like that?
catches the bullet
Yeah.
in
It
his
just
teeth.
thunk.
Totally. Well, like, I was suddenly struck by something, and I'm like, that familiar feeling of, you've just been struck by a rock. And then I realized, my
that
nose
familiar
is in a lot
feeling.
of pain, and there's something in there.
Did you kind of feel the impact, and then you stopped, and you felt your body like, oh, I'm okay. And then you slowly into your nose, like, what? And you pulled it out, and like,
It was a little surreal. And I was
And as you
alone
pulled
on
it
the
out,
street.
Is this your car?
Oh,
Is
if
this
only.
your Pebble?
Did you see that? Did anybody see that? No.
Now, sir, we don't know each other. You just weed whacked this into my nose.
Did anybody see that? Or
No,
was it just
no,
you?
I was
So
super
you shared
unfortunate.
this moment by yourself.
I think I was in somebody's backyard, and I was like looking around, and I think I had an employee on, but he was in the front yard, and I was like,
You're like, oh, well, back
so
to weed
good,
whacking.
like,
Dog shit.
yeah. Oh. There was a place I did one place where I went to mow their back lawn, and all I mowed up was dog poop. It was so dry and dead, there was no grass.
See, when you say that, you encounter a lot of dog shit when you're landscaping stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get kind of where you're Sideshow Bob, and it just hits you in the face like a rake, and you're like, ugh, and you keep going, and then another dog shit. Ugh,
You
and
definitely look around like, who knows? I just did that. Wipe it off.
Yeah.
Go. Keep moving. This didn't happen.
Dog, I knew it. I saw the
Yeah.
dog too.
Yeah.
Although on an upside, I can't. Well, I've seen more than a couple pornos that start
A couple?
with the
Come
guard.
on, John.
No.
You don't do much during the day. You see a lot of porn.
But I
You're
only
alone.
saw a
You
couple
live
with a
with a
yard
cat.
boy in it. I also saw a couple with the mailman and a couple with the pizza boy. 47 with the FedEx guy.
Ooh, he's got
2 with a
fetish.
priest and 9 with a nun. Real nun. She didn't know what's happening. But I've seen, we all know there's the pizza delivery guy, the photocopy repair guy, and the pool boy, and the gardener.
Oh, the
those
gardener,
are
of
those are the
course.
people who the guys who somehow get lucky in porn. Do you guys ever have the old like cougar employer, like customer, who you can tell she's like, I just want shirtless young men on my lawn?
She's just staring at you.
We had one place, and I won't use any names.
Oh, no,
this
no.
is public. But she was totally a bleach blonde hair, definitely fake tit job.
Orange
and,
County housewife.
Or Vancouver,
She lived
really.
she lived right on right near Jericho Beach, and yet she had a
Oh.
pool. Yeah, we would always come in and prune her bushes up on a ladder, and she'd be out there on the pool and just be like, "Hey, you guys want a drink? Yes, we do, ma'am.
tang?
Could I come in?" Yeah.
Are you throwing it?
And you always hope it happens, but alas, it did not.
I think there's in one of our older episodes, I was telling Sean, I had the TELUS guy come over once, and ended up he was telling me stories of the crazy things that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
And it really boiled down to people being like, I can show my business off to this guy, and I'm not in any danger because he can't do shit. So I wonder how much of it is that where it's like she's like, I'm 55, but I still have a yard full of handsome young men. And this is my horrible impersonation of her. Handsome young men in my yard. Aren't I a catch? Like, I wonder how much of it is she's just paying money to feel good about herself. And you're like, your azaleas are fine, lady.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to say because on one hand, professionally, I'm like, no, her garden did need a lot of work. She did nothing, and I really brought it back to life. But
Are we talking about pubic hair?
no,
She's attractive.
no, man, I care about that stuff, man. Come on now.
These weeds are killing me.
Yeah, geez, stuff was overgrown. We had to cut that shit back. But yeah.
Okay, so aside from your landscaping business,
Yeah.
you are an actor.
You're an actor.
Indeed.
And I have to say, a very good actor.
Thank you.
I've seen you in action in porn.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Yes,
the yard boy.
yes, that was yes. I was actually happy to reprise that role. Turns out I was there the day they were shooting it, so they were like, "Oh, hey,
You wanna be in?
you don't mind being a walk-in, do you?" Oh, yes, I.
You'd be like, was it Joey and Friends? There's an episode where they find out Joey was in a porn, and he was just the guy who walks in and doesn't get laid.
Yeah, he just watches.
Yeah.
So going back to John creeping you online, let's present what he's
Yeah,
done.
so you, let's see. So you have a birthmark shaped like Gorbachev on your left ass cheek.
Oh, that got online. Damn it! I was really hoping
Oh,
that
the
did
picture.
not.
No, his acting credits, John.
You've done, so you've done, what I found, Mo, you've done a lot of stage.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, tons. Yeah.
So actually, when we were in VFS, let's do a bit of background here. Matt and Sean and I originally met in Vancouver Film School.
right, back in the day.
Sean and I were in the writing program. Matt was in the acting program. And we did Sean, you and I were in different groups for this,
That's right.
but Matt, you were in the same group where half the writing class got stuck with half the acting class.
Got stuck. I see how it is.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I was difficult, but I was trying to be a man, damn it.
Cody walked out.
There's a lot of that.
But we teamed up together and we went down to, I forget the building, but there's this building in Vancouver that has a large picture that's a recreation of some riot in 1960.
That's right.
Yeah,
The W building.
The
yeah.
Woodwards, yeah. Woodwards building.
The Woodwards building. And we all had to stand there and pick out, a couple people from that picture, and the writers would decide to write a little piece on it. And then it all got put together. And what was the fucking song? It was like the something of love.
Yeah, I honestly, I forget. It wasn't Katie Lang or anything.
No, it was like an 80s song. God, I wish I could remember how to play it, play it right now. But anyway, so it was all themed to this 80s song, The Power of Love or some shit like that. It had that one of those type of names, except that's a Huey Lewis in the News song. All these little vignettes. And Danny and I, Danny's a friend of ours who lives in China now. And Danny and I wrote a piece for you. And
He's in prison, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I figured. He's
Chinese
been there a
person.
while, so it must be.
Alexis?
Yeah, Alexis.
Yeah. So you and Alexis did this bit that Danny and I wrote, which was about two police officers beating up a protester and throwing him in the paddy wagon. And one of the police officers, Alexis says, calls him a fag. And your character's like, dude, what the fuck's that about? And then as they talk, it's revealed that these two guys had hooked up once years ago, and it's kind of never been talked about since.
Yeah, right.
The thing I remember happening, and it was every time you guys acted it out and we did rehearsals, I was like, fuck, this is, I like this. Which is odd for a writer because we have a lot of self-loathing. But then the actual show came, and I'll always remember this because Alexis, when you guys were doing your piece, when you shoved him back, he kind of fell into this girl in the crowd and then got up. But I forget how it worked it, but he was like, he kind of played with it a bit. And I could see where he was going for this thing of, I'm going to break the fourth wall a little. But this girl had this look in her face of like, sweet Jesus, don't make me a part of this. and the crowd kind of nervously laughed, and it sucked away the seriousness of it. I was like, oh, no. But he kept going. I respect his commitment to it. But anyway, that was my long story that went nowhere.
Ruining it for everyone.
To say that Matt and I worked together for it. So,
No, that was an intense project.
But you've done a lot of stage. You just, last month, won an award. I'm going to read this.
You won an award.
Yeah,
You received an award
crazy, yeah.
for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role from the Community Theater Coalition, at the Community Theater Coalition Awards, for your role as Andrew Rowley in I Hate Hamlet.
That is
Wow.
all correct. You did that all correctly, yes.
So,
thank you.
If I'm correct, you won a trophy and a $10 Starbucks card?
Unfortunately, I missed out on the card, man. I was really like, they gave all the cards to the producers and people who mattered. I was just an actor.
We do have a $10 blends card.
Ooh, well, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Not happy.
Yeah,
Take it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was crazy. Like it was the Academy Awards, but not the Academy Awards. They did all the same things. They had funny performances and silly gags and
Did you do a
whatever.
speech?
I thought of a thousand things to say before. It was great. My parents came and everything. I dressed to the nines. I was like, hey, you never know. I
So
might
you
win
weren't
it, right?
dressed like this?
Definitely not. Yes, I cleaned
Oh,
up.
sorry, guys. I
cleaned up
just
rather well.
didn't landscape.
Just came
Wouldn't
from
that be
work.
great? Yeah.
Pardon my attire.
so good.
By the way, I'd like to thank my parents.
Everyone's in suits.
My next
I'm
role
just
is a junkie, and I'm a method actor. I'm really getting into
Hey
this
man,
role.
now I know how to commit to those auditions.
There you go.
right?
Scratching himself a lot.
So now, I Hate Hamlet is about a guy. It's basically just happens in his apartment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's about a guy who's going to play Hamlet, and like the ghost of a former actor comes back.
Yeah, the apartment that they're living in is John Barrymore's former New York penthouse,
who had
whatever.
played
Yeah,
Hamlet.
He had
Okay.
played Hamlet. Yeah. And so it's his ghost who they inadvertently summon his ghost back to the house, and and now Andrew has to unfortunately deal with him. He's the only one who can see. Well, no. There's a few others who can see him, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's the one who mainly deals with him, and he's yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot of overtones of Hamlet. You know, there's a ghost. There's sword fight. There's a sword fight at the end of the first act, which is absolutely
There's ham.
Did you like do
There's a ham roast, right?
Yeah, totally.
There's just an open buffet on stage
Yeah,
left,
just all the time.
and the audience is encouraged to
What's
just
with
come
the ham?
on. Yeah.
Stuff in my face.
Hamlet.
I have
Duh.
lines to do, but this is so
It's
delicious.
not called beeflet.
So, and then in the end, he gets the chance to the character after he has all these decisions. Do I do this piece? His agent comes in. He's like, I got you the
Yeah.
big money role. Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know how it ends.
Oh well.
You can spoil it.
Sure.
Spoilers are more than welcome.
Excellent.
On
Oh,
this
good.
audience,
Oh, good.
because as much as we love our fans, fuck you.
Hey, well, you know that just applies to everybody.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no, it was it's a really great show. So the first act is him.
And
just
I'm
being-
sorry, everybody. Did you hear that? Matt just said "fuck you." It applies to all of you.
I
Yeah,
was
he's
I was a
all
third
yes.
party to the FU on that one. But yeah, no, he in the first act he's just like a regular schmo, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm a TV actor, and I don't really want to do Hamlet. The producer comes in, he's got this great show lined up, and it sounds ridiculous, but he's like, hey, you make $1 million, who cares, right? And he's like, I would like $1 million. And but then he's got his girlfriend who loves Shakespeare, and she's all over it, and then his agent, his actual agent, is this old German lady, and she's like, oh yeah, do it, you got to do it, man. And he's like, well, and so he's
Played her, by the way.
I played
Yeah,
all the
that's
roles.
right.
Did I not make that clear? That's why I won
you
the
didn't.
award.
Yeah.
No. It was not a one-man show. It was, and it is great. He ends up they have this epic sword fight at the end of it because Barrymore, the ghost of Barrymore, is so pissed off that he's like, you don't care, you got to do this. It's the role of a lifetime. Why don't you commit to that? And they have this epic sword fight at the end, and it's very climactic and whatever. In the second act, he's just like, it's like the rehearsals are done. It's opening night, and he comes out on stage, and he's in the costume, and yada yada yada, and he ends up going out, and it's hilarious because he comes back right at the end of the show, and he's done it, and he's done the play, and he comes back, and he was terrible. He was like, no, and he goes on, and he talks to Barrymore, and he's like, there was this moment where I was, blah blah blah, and I knew I was hosing it. But then he found this one moment while
It'd be
he's
so
doing the show.
great if he actually said he was hosing it.
He was hosing it.
I was
and he
totally
just-
like
he
hosing
lost
it, right? Oh yeah, this is bad. I was like, I went out for a smoke and then came back, and the audience was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And I just like hosed it.
Just got hosed, man.
Forgot my toque.
Now, this show that you won the award, is this
Yeah.
an ongoing stage play? Like, is it still going on?
No,
or
no.
Are they going to redo it?
I wish. I called for a remount since we won award. Hey, man, look.
You're the only one. Encore! Encore! No, we're done.
Check this out. The show got nominated for like 7 or 8 awards, and we won. I think best lighting or best effects or something. And I was like,
Best polished stage.
who noticed that? Oh, good.
like
We're
a
awesome.
mirror.
Best open ham buffet.
I mean, it was really unfortunate because the guy who played my girlfriend got nominated for best supporting actress. The guy who played the ghost got nominated for best supporting actor. We got nominated for best director, best production. We got a whole bunch of things, but it was a tough crowd. So
So would you say this is your favorite role? Have you done roles that you got more into?
I
or was
I
this-
would say it's top 3.
Okay.
I think this is probably I can't say one or the other, but it's definitely top 3. And the other 2, I played captains. One a space captain. Oh, no, actually.
Sold.
That was G. Willikers Space. I played a space captain. I still have the costume for it. It's amazing. Awesome. They made light up guns that lit up and everything like that. Ray
Sweet.
guns. It's amazing.
And the one you played Captain Crunch.
Well, the other one.
Blue story based
the
on
biopic.
cereal.
Yeah, right. Okay, maybe it's a top 4. I mean, there's so many good roles because I played a Roman captain in a musical. A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. That I actually got nominated for best supporting actor in a musical. I lost, unfortunately, but I saw the play that the guy
Who won? Let's go break his knees.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
him up.
I saw his
really?
show and I was like, he blew it out of the water. I'm like, you have to. Well,
Were you a little bit like, oh, fuck,
no,
fuck you
because
for being so
the role
good?
I
Yeah.
played, I was like I only had 2 scenes, one little tiny one in Act 2, and then it was in Act 1 rather, and then I was in a bunch of Act 2. But he was in a whole bunch of the show. It's a really deep play about I can't remember the name of it, but he the character ends up dying at the end, and it's super intense, and he did it so well. He was way better than the lead guy, right? I was like,
Yeah.
that guy's got to win, and he did. I was like,
Fair enough.
thank goodness. That would have been really awkward. I would have been like, so sorry, you there? Sorry, sir.
That's one of the best accepted speeches I've ever seen in my life. It was the moment where I came to respect the guy. It was Justin Timberlake, and it would have been like 2004 or 5 or something.
Oh, wow.
But it was the year that Johnny Cash's last album came out, and Hurt got nominated for a Much Music or an MTV Music Award or whatever. Justin Timberlake won over that, and he got out and he just stood up there and said, basically went on and said, "This is a travesty. Johnny Cash should have won." And I'm, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I like this guy.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
like him.
certainly can
And
speak
now, who does not like JT? Who amongst us wouldn't Timberlake it?
Well, you know, he did bring sexy back. So
He did
for
bring
the rest
sexy back.
for the rest of us, thank goodness
true, he did, yeah.
it was a drought before.
There were years with no sexy.
Back in the sexy.
Didn't have the sexy.
When I was young, you could get sexy for a nickel and still have enough left over for penny candies.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you. You've done a lot of stage plays and stuff like that. What was one or maybe a few of your most awkward moments on stage?
Did you ever walk out on stage with your wang hanging out?
Unfortunately, no.
Or did you
haven't had that
screw up
long.
bad? Or
I only wish
or were
it
you
had
with
been.
actors that you knew were fucking up, and you're just like, this is not what's going.
Okay, I've got two great moments. My first play ever, I did the Scottish play Macbeth, and it's my favorite play in the world. And I had a very
Take a break talking if you want to.
Oh, sure.
So in case you don't know, viewers at home, we actually do drink. So, and I'll take this moment while Matt consumes to explain that what's going to happen is that over the next few weeks, we're just going to keep recording with Matt here.
Yeah.
We're recording it all at once, and you're going to hear it over a few weeks. And we're going to drink a little too much.
So as the episodes continue over the month with Matt, they'll probably get sloppier and sloppier. That's what John's trying to say.
Because I was going to fight, we didn't know it. I didn't. 9 times.
Let's order pizza.
Hippopotamus.
that's the way to do it, right?
Really?
I mean, that's
Because then
we're having
Eddie,
fun. So
yeah, we fucked up before, and we just had to go, well, we're kind of amateurs. Now we go, well, we were drinking.
And then me and John are going to start
excuses
fighting,
now.
and Matt's going to start crying. And,
I get really emotional. This one time on
he
stage.
really wished he won that award. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
he's pissed
I did
off
win
that he got
that
so
one
good.
time.
It didn't have a ham buffet.
I have rights, you know.
I have a
Ham
rider.
rights.
I have a rider. I don't want any brown M&Ms, and I want a ham buffet.
Okay, so you're going back
yeah.
to awkward moments on stage.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So my very first play ever, I did Macker's out in the boonies, out in Armstrong, BC. They have a outdoor farm theater called the Caravan Farm Theater.
Okay, so that's what I'm
sounds
picturing.
cool.
Okay, like picnic benches where people are sitting, right? No one really cares. There's kids running around yelling. The stage has a hole in it. Maybe one side of the curtain is gone. Am I getting it right?
I wish you were, and I wish you could be like, actually, this story is crappy and not fun. You know, no, never mind. No, actually, it's really awesome. They're like they're a former company that used to like tour Europe or anywhere with like caravans, actual caravans, and they would break them out when they get to town and then do a show.
Kind of like
Then,
act for their food?
Yeah,
Oh,
totally,
cool.
absolutely. And they
So
would.
they were former carnies.
They're basically
Is that what you're trying to
gypsies.
say?
They
Yeah.
prefer the term gypsies. That's a technical term.
I thought they preferred Roma now. They are the Roma from Romania?
Apparently, yeah.
I just listened to a podcast about it.
Well, you would know. Yeah, but anyway, so in like the 70s, there was a split in the company. One people wanted to stay; they were in Canada at the time. One half wanted to go. So there's still a caravan theater company. Still there. Last I heard, which was 7 or 8 years ago when I was there, they were like they were in some river in northern Europe. They got like a barge now and they just go up rivers.
But they still do that.
Yeah,
they come
they still
into
do the
town,
whole
act,
thing, gypsy
oh, that's
style,
so cool.
do
That's
theater
so
and stuff like that. And then there's this they've got like 85 acres or something out in the boonies of Armstrong, and they put on the production value is actually really amazing. So for Macbeth, they were in bleachers on the side of a hill, but they had lights in the trees. There's a procession of kings in the show. A whole bunch of us actors got on massive Clydesdales that got on the farm, right? And
Wow.
we had to like ride through every single night. And they had Michael McManus, who, fun fact, was on that show Lex. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember
super
Lex.
weird sci-fi show.
Yeah, when I went to school, I went to school for a multimedia year, like in the late 90s, and the company that owned the school, as a private school, was also doing all the visual effects for Lex. So if you went in late at night, they just hijacked all the students' computers and would do the giant
Really?
bug ships and shit, all the
so funny.
CGI. Yeah,
That's hilarious. Yeah, he was the assassin Kai, I think was his
yeah.
name.
Oh,
something
really?
Like that.
He was
yeah,
Kai?
that was him, dude. Yeah,
with
yeah.
the crazy braid.
Yeah, the hair
yeah.
and everything. He couldn't die and all that
yeah.
stuff. Totally, yeah. So he was our Macbeth, and he was like had gray hair, a mane, and everything. He was so awesome.
To any kids listening, you got to, if you ever watch any Canadian sci-fi and you appreciate the earnestness but crappiness of it, you got to go back and watch Lex, because it personifies all the shittiness that Canadian sci-fi can be, but at the same time, all the crazy cool stories it can come up with.
Yeah, totally.
A surprisingly good shitty show.
That's a fantastic way to describe it. It was not very.
It's a good shitty show.
It's a great
But
shitty
he had a great part on it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, we had this. I played a slew of supporting characters, but right at the end of the show, he, Macbeth, everyone's turned against him, and the army's invading, and I'm his messenger. I come in, and I'm all, and I've got 3 lines in the scene, and it's just something like about, my lord, Dunsinane Castle, something or other. This castle's fallen. We got to go. Blah blah blah. And he's firing back big epic lines at me and stuff like that.
If you ran out in the street and like, something or other, we gotta go, blah blah blah, and then just ran off.
That's almost literally what happened.
That was actually written in the script.
blah blah blah.
Oh, blah blah sir blah. It's a Scottish
Blah,
word.
blah, 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 blah.
My Scottish accent, it's terrible.
You missed a lot.
Anyway, yeah, I came out and I rapid fired off my 2 lines, and I totally spaced him. He comes up and grabs me and is like shaking me or something. He's very intense. And I totally spaced on my last line, and I'm like, this is like a guy who's been acting for years and years, and he's he's so good, and I'm just like, oh, good.
Did you kind of whisper, shake me harder?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I just said my last line again. He was so cool about it. He just threw me like he's supposed to, and I just ran off, and he just said some more lines and stuff. I was like, thank goodness he's a professional. But so that was so awkward. I was like, come on, I'm just some kid,
Right.
This is your
can't
chance.
let
You're
this
in
guy
front of the
down.
yeah.
He's the lead, and you're his. I'm like, nope, no, I'm going to choke on you. Sorry, buddy.
It's like you think at the next Canadian Actors Illuminati meeting, he's going to go and say, look, this Matt Loop kid, fuck him.
If he ever hits the scene, you bury him.
Did he say anything to you afterwards, backstage? You'd be like, hey, fuck, it happens to everybody.
I honestly, I went to him and I was like, oh my gosh, and right after the scene, and I was like, I'm so sorry. How could I have forgotten a 3 of 2 or
How could I have forgotten blah, blah, blah?
3 lines? Yeah, exactly. That was my most important one. And he was totally chill about it. He's like, no, dude, whatever. It happens. Absolutely. He took it so well on stage. He obviously, again, he just threw me when I said my same line again.
Yeah.
And he just,
That's actually what he does every time an actor interacts with them and forgets their lines. He throws them.
Conveniently was just in the script. Yeah.
get out of here. You don't know what
I'm done with you.
But I guess, if you're going to be in the game that long, you have dealt with that person coming up
Oh,
against
I'm
their
sure
first
you've seen
time,
it
and you're
all.
like, okay, you know
Absolutely.
what? I bet he had that scene where he was like, oh, my lord. Blah, blah. Fuck, what's the third word? And then the guy, did, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so you said you had a couple, though.
Yes. Okay. So my second one was fast forward years later. I'm now in going to UVic for theater, and I did a show called. Let me think. What's the name of it? That summer. It was a great show.
Because you didn't want to study anything important? Or?
No, well, I had dreams.
like
I had dreams, but this was more fun. So, and yeah, so I'm doing this play called That Summer, and it's a story about summer love. It's this older woman who reminisces, and the whole play is basically her reminiscing. And so it's us actors acting out
Hiring
her
a
reminiscing.
gardening crew to work shirtless.
Yeah, totally. If only.
Yeah.
And so I had this scene with this young gal, and it was great. This is my first show. We got to kiss 8 times every
nice.
single night.
Nice.
I was like, this is so great. I get a show, and I have to do it every night.
And
I
she
was,
had halitosis.
I was pretty shy and everything like that, right?
yeah,
so
yeah,
I was
yeah,
pretty gung ho about it. But it was awkward when her boyfriend would come and see me. And he came and saw it
Front row, by the
5
way.
or
He's
6
sitting front row.
times.
Was he,
like,
arms
He came
crossed?
a lot of times.
6'4",
Dude.
Every time the kid's in the game, all you hear is,
Hey, stop.
you're wrapping up.
He keeps doing the Robert De Niro thing, pointing at his eyes to yours.
Were you kind of cocky where you grabbed his girlfriend and you're like, hey, yeah, you know what's coming.
Just eyeball him and
just kissed her and be like, yeah, you watching this, eh?
No.
And then he's much bigger than you, so you fled after the play
Never
was done.
Where's
stayed.
Matt? He's never around for any of the
Never
after
hung around to
parties.
see any
Yeah.
of my potential fans.
Just take some ham
Every
slices
time you go
and
for the
leaves.
kiss, just
just
look right at him as you're kissing her.
hey, buddy.
Yeah. Wink.
No, we even had like a meeting beforehand. We met and
Yeah,
everything, and blah blah blah. But anyway, there's this scene where we have to fire off a bunch of baseball jargon, a bunch of famous baseball players and their nicknames.
Oh, boy.
And this was all new to me, so I was like, "Oh, good." And so we go out on stage to do this scene, and I get most of my lines, and then I get to all this baseball stuff, and I couldn't. I was really worried about the order. The order was specific because we had to end the scene a certain way,
Right.
and so I knew
We
maybe
start talking hockey.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know. Third base.
sport are we talking about? And yeah, she fired out her line, and I'm like, I got nothing, and I'm just like, I turn to her and I say, no, it was like a game between us. So I'm like, I don't know, you guess, and she's like. Looks at me with those eyes, right? Like, oh, this is different. Yeah. Oh, this is not the script. And I'm just like, I don't know. And she said, oh, but no, this is the game. So you gotta try. And so like,
Now, do you ever
I
get?
really don't have it.
Okay, now when this happens, because
How about them, Jason?
because you guys cover it up, and all of a sudden you just make stuff up on the spot to just get through the scene. Do you get the diehard fans that have seen the play every night, and then they're like, "That's not the line,"
Yeah.
like they know, and then all of a sudden that happens, and they're like, "Hey, you just ruined my night."
I've actually never had that. I have my mother who comes to a lot of my shows and who, and there's been times where I've been like, holy, we went off the rails. I did a show where the first act and second act, this was one of those top four I did. I played a mad scientist, and it was awesome.
Nice.
The unfortunate part about the writing, and you would understand this, was that Act 1 was a lot similar to Act 2. The same kind of arc happened. And it was weird. And so a lot of lines, I had a lot of long poetic lines, and so unfortunately, in Act 2, we've done most of the show. Somehow we got back to Act 1, and we're all suddenly looking at each other like, these are not the right line. Oh, God, we can't keep these people here another hour and a half doing the same show. So we were like,
It's like Inception.
yeah, right? Suddenly, they're doing the same show.
I've been here for this show for 6 hours. Act 2 just keeps turning into Act 1 over and over again. And there's not even a ham buffet.
It's so... It's so original. So we suddenly were like, we realized, that's there's important information that the audience has to get. So you have to, like, as other people are doing your lines, you're riffling through anything like, how can we, and you totally don't care about the lines at this point. You're just like, what's the best
gotta get
way
back up to speed.
to get back on track. The thing about like things like Shakespeare and stuff like that, those are big deals. And so in I Hate Hamlet, I actually had a bunch of excerpts from, I did a bunch of his famous speeches. I did To Be or Not to Be and all that kind of stuff. And so you certainly, and I screwed up a whole bunch in rehearsals, and they would always be like, remember that time when you screwed up that really important thing? Yes, okay, good.
Yeah.
And so,
trying to block
that
it out,
one
but
line
thank
you
you
had
for
that is
reminding me.
historically accurate.
yeah, well,
that
it's
one.
like, it's like the To Be or Not to Be. I think you go on and
Can you do the to be or not to be?
okay, hang on.
It's getting in character, people.
Yeah, I gotta.
He's putting on a powdered white wig.
Yeah, and now he's massaging his nipples.
If I just do it, I'd probably remember it. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to... Oh, crap. Whether 'tis nobler
that's
in the
right.
mind... No, it is. Whether 'tis
He says
nobler in
crap.
the mind
I've
to
read it.
suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to something rather, I don't know. Yeah, there's a few other things, but those are the most important parts.
Well, look,
I love it. That's better than I could do.
I would always screw those parts up, and they're like, "Did you get to the arrows and the slings?" I was like, "I don't think so." There
were slings?
But I've never had somebody
I
come up
only
to me
wore
and be
a
like,
thong.
"I hate your rendition of this show. Terrible."
I just wanted to come up to you and say this was the worst version of this play ever. Well, we're gonna sign off here, and we're gonna be back next week with Matt. Do you have any like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter thing you want
or
to
a fax number.
No, I definitely am more of a fax man than any of these new
Fax?
You can fax Matt Loop at.
718
tweeter
Matt
things.
Loop. Somebody somewhere out there, 718 Matt Loop, and he's like,
Why am I getting all these fucking... Deborah, where these faxes coming from? Not from your mother-in-law.
keep killing my internet.
Keep telling me to do Shakespeare.
I'm going to have to unplug the computer again so I can talk on the phone. No, because we don't have wireless.
Hey, man, I grew up on dial-up. Don't you mock
Oh,
that.
hey.
Oh,
Don't you
we
mock
all
that.
did.
I remember the first time when we hooked a modem up and that
Yeah, I love that.
we turned it off. We're like, shit, it's broken. We don't want to fuck this up.
Possessed by the devil.
God.
I remember when my first computer was on dial-up at my parents' house, and we had this long phone cord from the only phone outlet, like, in the living room, and it had to go all the way up the stairs and then into the spare room. It was like a mile long.
And if somebody picked up the phone
Yeah, I'm on the computer.
I'm on a computer, Mom!
All the progress you just made in that stupid
Yeah.
online game that took forever to load.
All right, we're going to sign off here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to Sean and John. I am John.
I'm Sean.
I am Matt.
Goodbye, lovers.
So riled up I could scream about it.